27th of June. Wimbledon starts soon, which is normally a signal to do the straw mulch, which obviously I did, and I managed to do it yesterday. Hands flying over the lens, but it's about trying to get enough straw around, but don't bury the plant. That, although that looks a bit buried, it only goes up to the leaves, leaving a gap, as you can see, around the plant. If you whack it all up to the stems, then quite often you can get stem rot on them where you bury them. 20 bales, so that's 10 on this plot, 10 on the other. And I just put a couple of bags of fast grow down on the top of the soil, and a light hoe before I put the straw on, and some slug pellets underneath. It's quite a deep mulch, but it does go down over time, and it means it's still got something there doing the job when the flowers are flowering. As you can see, the plants and the dog a little bit up and down, so we've got some big plants, smaller plants. That's a smaller plant. That's what I'd probably expect at this stage, this time of the year, and probably for me in a week's time I'll be cutting that back for its second and last stop. Other plants that have romped away, we've got some buds in there, and again that will get the same treatment. It'll get chopped down. Hopefully the shoots aren't too far advanced at the base of the stems, and it'll level the plants up and level them up for timing. So if there's plenty of rain, it was a good time to put the straw mulch down, because we'd had a couple of good belts of rain on it, so there's plenty of moisture in the ground, so at least we're holding that in, unlike last year when the ground was bone dry and I was trying to find something to hold in the first place. These are the white candy here, and the challenger over there, and buried in there the little shorter plants of Oakwood Goldcrest, and the up and downy ones, which seems to be its trait is Habit Diane, and then the Mary's over there, all ready for a chop down. Just go over to the other plot. So here's plot number 2. Again, got all the straw down yesterday. So that's the Suzanne, Dave's Choice. Again, some plants have flown away and others haven't. It's a bit of a sign of the season where we had it a bit wet. Paul Venton. And then the 2 beds of Misty, and the 2 beds of Gertler. Again, some earlier plants that really took off. I've tried to keep my fingers off them this year. Nature to keep pinching them back. So although they're reasonably big plants, they're not absolutely full of shoots. So I'll cut those down reasonably hard, so don't end up with the gooseberry bushes that I had last year that then made it a bit harder to control. It's just about getting used to varieties on plots. It's the first time I'd grown it up here. I used to be able to get away with a gooseberry bush, but not this year, or not last year. So I'll restrict the flowers and probably end up with oversized poms this year, but we get there in the end. So everything's looking pretty decent, and I would always think once the straw's down, start cutting the plants back for their last stop. Probably got about a week of breathing space, and then the work really does kick in as the new side shoots start coming, and they seem to come quicker than they ever did before. But at least that's that job done. Not a pleasant one, but always nice to finish. So just before I go off to work, the miniatures, as I said, it's slightly different with these in the sense that there's more shoots, and we don't really want to restrict them so much as a Challenger or a large mediums. Same applies though, I do tend to take out some of the weaker shoots, so you don't get too many. And then as there's about 8 or 9 shoots on here, take the tops down pretty much, so we're taking these out pretty much down to 2 pairs on each one. Let's take that one out completely. I'll take that one down. I've done about 5 or 6. Take some of these oddball bits out. Bit of straw in the way. Again, this one. Take that down to a couple. If you just take the very tips out on some of these, all you're going to do is get a bud. Come quite quickly in the upper joint, so you can take them down reasonably hard, then you've got a chance of not getting buds too early. Take that one out. Again, around here we've got a random shoot. I would say that's probably about done. So all down to probably about 6 shoots that have got 2 pairs of leaves on each. There's always extra stuff appears, so we're probably going to be getting at least 24 breaks naturally come on there. There's another odd single one down there, we'll take him out. And then so we get 24 from there. We're only looking to grow 14 to 16 on this. This is Mary's Jamander, and again we'll just go through the rest like that. So that's what's just come off of that plant. Quite a bit of stuff, but that means the plant was a decent strong plant to start with. There's some there that have got buds in. Don't really worry, I'll just still cut those down. It's at this stage that you can get a good level habit to the stuff, so it's not all sort of some in advance, some behind. You can sort of even them up a little bit. As you can see around there, the piles of foliage that has come out, and that's the Challenger bed done, so all the plants pretty much have disappeared below the straw. The candy in front, they'll be next, probably tomorrow morning, and the Habit Dianes will follow, and hopefully I'll have this done, this plot and the other, by the end of play Wednesday, so everything will be cut down, and then the fun begins as it all grows back up again. We have to start getting down to numbers and hopefully seeing some flowers. Good luck. Morning, 1st of July. Time to start the double stop. You can see I've just done those ones. This is Challenger, and it's just to explain what I call a double stop and what most of us call a double stop for those that are just going to go out and start pinching the tops out. This is a plant, a Canora Challenger, as they all are. And from the first stop you can see that there's quite a few shoots come from it. So really, and you'll have to excuse the filming one-handed, the first job is to take out a few shoots, because I don't want to stop what might be 8 or 9 shoots in here. I have thinned out, so we're taking out pieces like that and just take them out completely. Luckily I've probably thinned through this one a little bit and already thinned out some. I try to, if I think they're producing too many shoots from the first stop, I'll just take some out as they're growing in the first 3 or 4 weeks. The dog's making sure that I'm doing it correctly, which is a bit camera shy obviously. So we now got this down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good strong shoots. This is where it gets a little bit awkward. We get the knife out. So we're then going to cut those down, which isn't easy one-handed. So we're cutting out that, so it's not just pinching the tip out, we're actually cutting down to a pair of leaves. Now you might not want to go right down low to the very bottom pair, and some of these shoots have sort of popped up from underground, but you want to go low enough so you don't end up with a gooseberry bush. There's another one that comes out. That's 2. 3. Take off any odd leaves that you might crunch on the way through. So I got a bit lost there, trying to look for the stem. 4. And 5. And we've got a pile of foliage that's disappeared. There's a random shoot coming there, but I think that's just coming from a bit of tuber left in. It's a good opportunity just to tidy round straw, take out any odd leaves that you might have cut while doing it. Just don't want debris sitting in a hole afterwards, and just tidy the straw around, hook out any leaves that are remaining. So that's what we're left with. Now from that we're probably going to get nearly a dozen shoots, so within probably about a week I'll get on there and just start thinning them out a little bit. But I'm hoping first week of July these cut down will produce me buds without having to mess about with them for August bank holiday weekend onwards. So that's now 6 done, only 34 to go. But that's what I mean by double stop. You can see the same there and there. This isn't just going up to the plant like this and going, oh, I'm going to double stop here and pinching a tip out, because all that's going to result in is about 50 shoots on a plant that we're only going to be growing 4, 5 up. And we're just trying to get the energy of the plant that was and the root system that's under there into the new growth, which should come, hopefully become thicker and stronger than what we started with. If they're left, then really all you're going to do is end up knocking them back, messing around with them, and creating quite a bit of work. So that's a double stop, and we'll do it on a miniature, which obviously is slightly different, and you'll see that as well.